Propel Fitness Water. With Gatorade electrolytes, zero sugar, and vitamins, Propel hydrates better than water to help you get the most out of your workout and get back to your best self. What propels you? Propel with Gatorade electrolytes.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality. This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. I'm so happy you decided to join us. Before we get started today, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the number one shoe machine in the market. I've said this multiple times. We own 3 of them. I want a 4th and a 5th. My AD's listening to me, but they're so great. They work so well. They're so easy to set up. I think my record is 37 seconds or 32 seconds to set it up. But mention Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off. Mention Coach Collins, they'll take really good care of you. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. This is a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's everything you need from a nationally ranked. We won 3 state titles. I think we were just talking recently. We've won over 460 games in our program and lost 130 over the last 20 years. And I think we know the secret sauce to be successful, the roadmap, what it takes on and off the court. So go over and check it out and enjoy the podcast. Bye.
All right. Hey, Coach.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead. I'm trying to figure out my tablet, but I can still draw. If we need to draw stuff up, I'll figure it out. But I know you had a bunch of questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always got millions of questions. I'll just hit a couple of top ones and see what you got for me.
Okay.
I heard one of the podcasts that you were talking about how to handle a 1-2-2 aggressive half-court trap, about sending guys from the back, but I never got the specifics on that.
Okay, so 1-2-2 or 1-3-1?
1-2-2.
Okay, so let me see if I can do this. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So it won't be as pretty because I can't get my tablet, but we'll do the best we can here. Okay. All right. So you're saying 1-2-2, you said? 1-2-2.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like that. So you're saying aggressive. Yeah. So you're saying 2-1, and let's say most people would break this with an even front. So they put an offensive player here. They put an offensive player here. They'd probably put one in the high post, and they probably, so most people counter with opposite. So if it's an odd front, they go even. So okay. So you're saying this is aggressive.
Right. So the 1 and 3 are trapping aggressively, and if it goes to the ball's corner, here, the 5 and 3 are trapping. Right.
Yep. So 1 and 3. Okay. So that's where I'm saying 2 has to make a decision at this point. Okay. Because 5 is probably going to step here. Okay. What I do is I don't leave this guy I don't put that guy there at the high post. So what I do is I put them at the short corner. So I put them in at the short elbow. I put them either there or there, depending on which way. So if the ball's on this side, I put them right here, because then 2's got to make a decision about who he's going to guard, and then this person pops in behind. See what I'm saying? So if the ball's on this side, I put, we'll call this here. I can go, this is offensive player 1, offensive player 2. We'll call this offensive player 3, 4, and 5. And again, forgive my drawing skills because I'm not doing it on my tablet. So if offensive player 1 has the ball, then I tell offensive player 3 to get like not low block, but mid block, like right in here.
Okay.
If offensive player 2 has it, then offensive player 3 would be on this side, because I'm going to force 2 to make a decision at this point. This is really too far for 4 to come, and 4 is more worried about 5 moving and getting a bucket in here, just lobbing it up and getting a bucket. So that's where I was talking about. I was talking about that opposite high guy flashing behind the trap.
Okay.
Because if two takes the offensive player 2 away, then 3 will be open. This player will be open. So one of these 2 players is going to be open because 2 can only guard one of them. But when you do this normal lineup, 2 can kind of sit on 3 and then also look for the steal up above.
Okay.
So it's basically you want to give 3 passing lanes. So worst case scenario is, let's say the ball is here. The worst case scenario is you want 3 passing lanes. You want 1, 2, and 3 passing lanes. So you have that. If 4 does come up and takes 2 away, then 5's got to follow 4. Like then 5's got to come up, and then the release is just a skip across. So either one of these 3 people is going to be open. Either this guy at kind of the short elbow, this guy flashing behind the trap, right in here, because that's a long way for 2 to come, and 2's got to decide. 2 can't guard 3 and 2. And then if 4 decides, well, I'm going to start creeping up if the ball's over here, then that's fine. And then 5's going to come up and be the release. So 4's going to have to make a decision on which way it's going to go.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And I typically just put my point guard, my best player, right in the middle and try to get the ball to him to score.
That's the one they're trying. That's kind of the one they're trying to steal.
Right.
Yeah. So you want somebody almost coming from behind it, because they're gonna go. They want to go for this steal and this steal up here, right? Because then they can go get a layup in the other direction. So 2 is going to be the aggressive one, but 2 is going to have to make a decision. If the ball's over here with 2, then 3, then this one tends to be the other opposite guard tends to be the aggressive one.
Okay. And my guy in the middle is going to be on ball side, a little bit low on the elbow.
About I don't know. I'd say about 1.5 feet below the elbow.
Gotcha. And the other one flashes behind, and then my other deep.
Because think about it. So let's say the ball's here.
Yeah.
Let's say the ball's here. Who's going to guard this guy? Is 5 going to come up? If 5 comes up, that's great. You just pass it to 4.
Right.
And then that's a long way to go to trap again. If 5 takes 4 away, which they normally do, that's the easiest pass. That's the one they want. They want to make that pass and the cross pass. So usually that one's taken away. Well, then this person's just going to have to step up and find an open space for them to see you, and then you're off to the races. Because if 3 catches the ball like right here where I'm drawing that X, who's going to – I mean, it's either going to be 5's got to stop them, or, if 5 stops them, then 4 is going to get an open shot.
Right. And then your other guy, too, is flashing behind.
And this is the key, that flash behind. Most people don't flash behind the trap. When you flash behind the trap, it's really hard to defend.
Gotcha. No, that's super helpful, because I'm just putting my guy right in the middle.
Yeah, and they just stand there. They just stand
there. Right.
Yeah, and then it's just it's too easy to defend. I always tell them 2 or 3 count, and then you got to get out of there.
Okay.
So these 3, they can interchange too. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Okay, perfect.
Am I good at ripping through a few other ones?
Yeah, go right ahead. You're the only one that shows up today. Everyone must be at a picnic or something today, so it's all cool.
All right, I'll keep ripping through it. Okay. So let's say we had a team that would press on misses very aggressively, and they would double team my post. So on a defensive rebound, they would jump and trap my post and then try to guard the outlet to my point guard.
Yep.
So what's the philosophy behind handling that?
Do that. My first philosophy, because we do that. We'll do that on missed free throws.
Oh,
We'll do that on missed free throws because, you know, you got two guys right here, you know, and if one of them gets the rebound, we'll trap right away. So, so what has to happen? So they're going to get the rebound here. So they're going to get the rebound here or here, right? So normally they're going to get one of those two blocks. And then they're going to get trapped by two defenders, okay? So what they're doing is they're taking your point guard away. You don't want your point guard to catch it. You want your point guard to get the second pass. So you want someone else to flash and get the ball here, and then you want your point guard, let's say this is your point guard, you want your point guard then to flash from that person because they're trying to make someone else bring the ball up is my guess, right?
Right. Correct.
Yeah. So you don't want them to get the first pass, you want them to get the second pass. That's why sometimes I'll have my point guard when we're getting pressured in the full court, throw the ball in. Like, let's say we're getting pressed full court man, I'll have my point guard throw it in. We'll run something over here to get the ball, and then I'll have them run and get it after that. That's a hard thing to defend. So this second pass is harder to defend than the first one. The first one's an easy denial. So what you want to do is have your 2 or 3 guards say, hey, if we're getting doubled, you flash them, get it, and then the point guard is going to come back and flash in front of you. Because they don't want to get beat deep, right? They don't want to get beat this way. So they're going to let him catch it in front, probably, if they do. You know, let's say your point guard's over here. All right, I'm stuck. Well, what's he going to do? He's going to vab, and then he's going to cut like this. Well, they're going to stay on if you're going this way, they're going to stay on this side of them because they don't want to get beat deep and give a layup up. So it's just teaching your point guard to go away and then flash across. That's what we've done in the past because you're right. This is a hard one, especially for the bigs. They just want to get rid of it. And that's fine. You're going to get rid of it, but you're going to get rid of it to somebody other than the point guard. And then these guys are told not to dribble. These guys are told to hold and look. You know.
So what would be the lineup then? Just telling the people, should I have my point guard on one side, my 2 on the other side?
Yep.
And
the two should go opposite. The 2 should go the side of the double, and the point should go opposite that. And then as soon as this one gets it, then he's cutting. Yep. Make it really
where would I tell the other 2 players? Where should I tell them to be going?
Well, I would send my big deep because I would send both of. I'd send the big deep, and then you probably have your 3 guard here at half court. I'd say you go to half court and get in the center circle or the sideline. Get out of the way because you don't want them around at that point. But the problem is they've got 2 guys here, so they only have 3 defenders left.
Right.
You know what I mean? So someone's going to be open. It's just a matter of who. And then I would tell my big, I'd rather have them eat the ball than turn it over at that point. Literally, like I'd rather have your football eat it than make the bad pass because this is a horrible pass if it's turned over because it's a layup kind of thing. So that's where I work on. I work on breaking windows. Above the shoulders. Kind of breaking. Pass fake logo high. You can always pass over the ears or pass over the top of the head. It's virtually impossible for somebody to get their hands up. So I would work in the small parts. I would work with the bigs. This is a great drill. You could do this as a drill too. Like, okay, what do we need to work on? We need to work on when they're getting doubled. Great. We're going to double the big. We're going to throw the ball off the board. Big's going to get it. We're going to double them. And then we're going to work on, going 3-on-3 at that point or 2-on. We're going to work on our break, getting the ball up, and let's. So I would incorporate a couple things. You could work on your trap. You could work on like big getting doubled because you want them to get that feeling so they don't freak out. This is used often, at least at our level, at the high school level, is used to kind of get them to panic. Like we're not used to getting doubled right away when we get a rebound. So that's and most coaches run it to try to get a couple turnovers and a couple layups, a couple easy buckets.
Cool.
So I would definitely incorporate that into practice, like so the bigs know what it feels like to get doubled. And then if you know the football coach, I'd go get some football pads, those big pads, and hang them. You ever see those big?
Right.
You can get them at Dick's or whatever. Yeah. So I'd have those two guys so they're not fouling them all over. I'd have them banging them just so he gets used to that feeling.
Okay.
So you can't exactly do it, but you can get close to it.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Gatorade Zero powders have been scientifically designed to help improve hydration balance in the body. With a clinically proven electrolyte blend and no artificial colors or flavors, great tasting hydration no matter where you're going. Shop now online or at retailers nationwide. Gatorade, hydrates better than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn hiring pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Okay, cool. That's great.
Okay.
The next question I had is when calling a timeout, especially towards in the game, but I guess any time, how many, so I always try to give a zone, if I'm running a quick hitter, a zone quick hitter and a man quick hitter, but also if the other team decides to jump to a trap or something like that, do I also need to remind them of what our kind of press breaker or release style is? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like how much information do you give people when you're at a timeout?
Okay, because it's probably a big. Okay, so I try to find something that works against man and zone. That's the first thing. You can't get something that's going to work against everything. You just want to put kids in the right position so that they can create some space and openings. That's the first thing. You really, especially in a big game, if you haven't done it before, it's going to be hard for them to do it. So I would make sure you practice it. Have that 1 or 2 plays and, once or two, because if you can remind them, hey, we're running Phoenix. We got this. Here's what we're going to do. Here's all our looks. If they're in zone, we're going to get this look. If they're in man, we're going to get this look. Here we go, break. I wouldn't worry about them. If they trap, what you do is in practice before that point, if they trap, that's an attack mode. Because we have an advantage at that point. If they're trapping, they're probably down. It's probably not tied or up if they're trapping us. So if they're trapping us, they're probably down. We need to make them pay at that point. We want to either take time off the clock or we want to attack the rim. So keep it simple in those timeouts, super simple, because they're not going to hear you. And if whatever's important, say it at the beginning and say it at the end. Because I've had more than one kid say, Coach, man, I didn't hear anything. It's because they're all jacked. It's like, okay, here we go. And that's where running them in practice is so important. Every big game that I've won, we've run something that we've run before, and I'm more calming them saying, hey, we're going to win this. We got it. We're going to run Phoenix. Here's what it's going to look like. Now, from a standpoint of coaching, you should practice this in practice, putting a minute on the clock or on your phone. And then I have clear transparencies of plays that I can just put on my whiteboard that I just clip on, and then I'll put my little magnets on them because I'm not good enough, even after 30 years of drawing that stuff up really fast. So I'll tell my assistants as I see it's coming, hey, get our quick hitters ready. He'll have them ready. I go, all right, we're going to run Phoenix, and he'll have it clipped on there for me. So when I grab the whiteboard, it's ready, rock and roll. Here's what we're running. I'll just put the magnets and the kids in the right spots. He even has magnets labeled come tournament time with the kid's name. So I'll grab John. John's going to be here. Bill's going to be here, blah, blah, blah. But just like the kids practice, you have to practice that. Because if it's a tight game, if they see you're confident and have it, their confidence level multiplies. Because they feel like, oh, we got this. We've done this in practice. We've already run it. We've run this 4 times. So that's where I think you got to come up with just a couple quick hitters. I'm actually probably the end of this week or next week. We just finished the PowerPoints, and then my assistant's going to do the wording on it of all quick hitters, how to pick a quick hitter, what you should look for, a checklist and everything. So it'll probably be a week. We just finalized the PowerPoint, so he's going to go back and do either today or tomorrow. So look for that in the next week, and that will help you. Like, do you want to screen? Because there's so many different things you can do in a last second play. You got to kind of pick a couple that you want. Do you want a 3? Do you want what kind of things do you want? And then that's where you can get the play from. So look for that.
So that makes perfect sense. So a follow up on that is I basically with the kids, I have them work on just in the game, just one baseline out of bounds for man and one baseline out of bounds for zone.
Yep.
And they're different.
Okay.
So if I wanted to go with that philosophy of a man in a zone they've already practiced on, is there a certain way that you really tell? I mean, can I have my guys switch or something right before they run it just to make sure they are in a man or zone? Or are you of the philosophy that's better just to have one play that will
Well, the
work
problem is I might 1-3-1 half court trap you. I might run a matchup 2-3. I might run a diamond in 1. Depending on the amount of time, I'm not sure you have time to synthesize that. You know what I'm saying? In a play at the end of a game, if let's say we're playing you, I'm coaching against you, and your team's going off, and your 2 stars are just, man, they're going crazy. All right, maybe the whole game we've been playing a matchup and man. Well, maybe the last play of the game, I'm going to my triangle and 2, and I'm just going to take those 2 out of the game. I'm not going to let them score. Well, you got to have some sort of quick hitter where everybody kind of gets a look. Maybe I'll 1-3-1 trap you in the half court. Well, all of a sudden now we're extending. Now there's going to be different spaces. So that's where I think you want to figure out. Personally, I think you don't want to bottle yourself. There's so many different zones. That's the problem. And a lot of zones become similar to man after you do a couple movements. That's why I think if you just find a good 1 or 2 good plays, I don't know how many zones you see in your league and stuff, but if you only see 2 3s in man, then easy. Yeah. Just have 1 for each. But if if like our league, you could see 6 different zones at some point, or a switching man or a non-switching man, or maybe they're icing us and pushing us, whatever it is. So you just got to be ready for it. But if you feel comfortable, what I tell every coach, do what you feel comfortable doing. So if you feel comfortable having 2 different ones, do that. Absolutely. Because the kids will feel that.
So when they go out in the court, if I want to have maybe 2 players switch positions or something just to see if they do follow them? You
just have them.
Simple.
Yep, that's super simple. Are they handing? It's going to be a little bit harder to tell a matchup in a matchup zone and a man.
Yeah, matchups.
That's going to be harder. But if you get guys cutting through and they're following, or they're getting to the help line, then you'll be able to tell it's man. So yes, if you have 30 seconds, that's easy. Cutters through will tell you kind of, for the most part, whether it's man or zone. Won't always do it, but it'll give you a good idea of it.
There she goes, first solo drive.
Are we ready for this? Absolutely.
Our AAA agent, what are you doing here?
Well, same as always, helping you protect what matters most. Like when you added her to your auto policy, or when you switched to AAA insurance and saved.
So you've been here the whole time?
Yep. Plus, we're available 24/7 for claim support, in case you ever need it.
Shouldn't she be home already?
It's been 12 seconds.
Visit AAA.com/insurance to get a quote today.